Welcome to the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger.
That's me.
We are giving you all of your real estate and mortgage news. I want to talk about where the best place to be to get your house sold is, which is the MLS. We're going to dive into that.
Best place to sell?
The best place to be when you want your house sold. Activity, how much activity should you be getting if you're on the market? And then planning your next move. We'll dive into that too on this show, this edition of the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. Bruce, what do you got today?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the direction of the market. What are interest rates doing? Who's buying houses right now? What type of programs are available? What are interest rates doing now, and what are they expected to do in the future? And then I want to talk about the importance of a lender that actually does everything in-house versus a broker that has no control of what direction things are going in. So I just want to really spell out the differences, because I think there's been a lot of myths around broker, and people call me a broker.
I get
all
those
the
people
time.
calling me saying, "Hey, how'd you like to make a few dollars on a mortgage?"
Yeah,
because they can compensate me, and I'm like, I want it done right. I'm like, you need to go work for the Lone Ranger.
Well, I'll tell you what, no matter what I do when I refer a transaction out, I never want compensation from a real estate agent or a title company or anything. I think that when companies do that and people do that, like when I see these bad realtors that are also doing mortgages at the same time and maybe even have a title company, they got everything, but they don't do any of it well.
Yeah.
They don't do any of it well. Where is your fiduciary responsibility when it comes to your clients?
Jack of all trades,
And
master of
I'm going
none.
to tell you, even if I give a referral to you or to a real estate agent, do you pay me for that referral?
No,
not at all.
No.
Not 1 cent do you pay me for that referral. And to me, I think that anybody that does that and just says, "Oh, I'm trying to get my hands into a piece of all the little pie," you're not really looking out for your client.
No, I remember one time, we were getting faxes. So this is 20 something years ago. I remember getting a fax cover sheet from a gentleman who was the insurance agent, the lender, the title agent.
Oh my gosh.
And the realtor.
Incredible.
And owned an ice cream shop. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if that
I
one
think I remember that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to make sure you're working with a good professional like Bruce. I send you all my loans because I know they're going to get done. And it's funny, I have people say, "But I got this online." I'm like, Bruce will pull up the rates and show you how you're getting hosed. So save yourself some time. Just call Bruce.
I agree.
So diving into, I mean, right now, Bruce, we're in a slow summer market, probably slowest sales in 15 years. It is the bottom. So now's the time to be buying. We'll dive into that a little later. But I have sellers going, so what else can we do? And I've got a marketing plan that encompasses everything. You're all over the web in 5 different languages. You're on everybody's smartphone. Yeah. The MLS is what sells, Bruce. I have tried billboards, extra pay-per-click, target marketing in the UK, in New York. You know what it got me? Nothing.
No,
my ad exec might have made, the guy that sold me that might have made salesman of the month, but the MLS is where the buyers come from. The buyers need an education, and a good realtor's giving that to them. Hopefully, you got a house for 500. They're showing them everything for 450 and 475 and 525 and 550. The MLS is where it's at. And this is why for sale by owners are going a hard road. They think they might be saving some money, but they're really costing themselves like 10% of their price. But that is where the buyers come from. I track my deals. I track where my contracts come from. And what's funny is it's always a realtor. It's very rarely me selling my own listing off somebody driving by the sign.
Right.
Or somebody that pulled me off of realtor.com. It's another realtor who's been working with a client for several months to sell their home, educating them as to what's on the market, helping them get their mortgage set. I had one the other day. The other drag on the market right now is we could probably lose about 3/4 of the realtors out there. Yes, half of them don't even work. The other 25% don't know how to put a deal together and make sure. I had one bring me an offer, and I started asking them questions about the loan, and the buyer's, demanding closing costs and demanding all these things, and comes in 20% below list price, which doesn't happen. So I dug into it a little bit deeper. Turns out it wasn't an offer. And I said, look, if you want any more information on this, you need to have your buyers call Bruce Woodburn. And the buyers were like offended that I was messing with their financial. Like, I'm not messing with your financials. I'm like,
you just want to make sure you're going to.
You got conflicting information. You can't get me a pre-approval letter that says this, this, and this, or what type of loan you're doing, and you're good to this price. There's no
probably because the realtor was the loan officer and trying to control the whole thing.
Well, they were dealing with an online lender, but then when I said, here's the solution, because they said they weren't qualified. I said, well, you want to qualify for more, you need a lower rate. This guy will fix it for you. So, but that's
when you're as a real estate agent, like So clients out there don't know this like we do because they're not in our business. But when you have an offer coming in and somebody's using an online lender, what how does that make you feel? Like when you are, if you're looking at, and let's take me out of the equation, because I know I bring you pre-approval,
Yeah.
your mind's at ease.
Yeah.
But let's just say it's not me. And let's just say it's a local mortgage company here against an internet lender against a local bank. Who's your first choice? The local lender, the internet lender, or the local bank?
Local lender. I don't want the internet lender. They don't care. And it could be talking to a call center in Pakistan.
Right.
Don't trust them to get it done. They're never the same. There's no consequences. You care. You do a great job. I know you care. If I recommend another realtor to you to have their buyers come over to you, you save it. And you want that lender to send you more business. It's just a
So
self-fulfilling
not
prophecy
the
of good
internet
service.
lender, because
Nope.
they're all just a bunch of blowhard. Even the
They're
big
reading.
companies.
They don't know how to put a file together. They're reading off a script on a computer screen. The local bank can't close a deal to save its life
No.
within 60 days.
No.
And or tell you what's going
But
on
the
with
banks, but people think of their bank, they'll go, oh, I'm going to check my bank because they know me and I've done business with them for 20 years. I'm going to tell you, I've been doing business with Truist for 30 years.
Yep.
When they were Sun Bank.
Yep.
I went to open up an account the other day. It took me 2 weeks to open up a business account.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And finally, I went to Climate First Bank, a little local bank here,
Yep.
and they did it in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
well, the smaller banks are more nimble, and I might trust something like that. But I'm going to have a conversation with the loan rep, and if they got a dedicated loan rep, not somebody just got promoted from the drive-through, and that's what you got to watch out for too. But I mean, realtors, just save yourself some time and call Bruce. But I just think the main thing when you're out there dealing with somebody that tells you, hey, my website's great, and I've got 500 followers on YouTube, so I'm going to put your house out there for all the internet millionaires. It's not going to work. The MLS, everybody goes to the MLS, and somebody says, well, what about the international buyers from Europe coming here to invest? I go, well, they all look at the MLS. They all look at their,
sure,
they're not going to pay you more money or less money.
They might search realtor.com and Zillow and
they
get
search
an
anything.
idea.
They're all going to get educated, and you've got to be priced well because they've got a lot to look at. So you can't be, unless you're in excellent condition, you can't be priced 10% above everybody else. My office number, 407-352-8118. I'll be working all weekend, and you can reach me at cleveloveland.com also.
Yeah. Or the Loan Arranger, Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage, 35 years, 1% production in the entire country. I'm top 1%, not 1%. I am top 1%. And I don't say that to brag about. I'm just telling you, it's because when you come to me, you get what you're looking for. You don't get a song and dance. 35 years in the business. I got a guarantee that if I don't close on time, I will pay $500 a day or up to $500 a day for every day I miss the closing. I ain't missing no closings. You can reach me at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or go to webringyouhome.com. Get your application started there. I have every product that you can possibly think of. Name a product, name any product. Let's do a game show. Name a product that the Loan Arranger doesn't have.
Construction Perm VA.
Got it.
Never heard of it with anybody else. Never heard anybody else have that.
I'm coming up possibly with a Construction Perm reverse mortgage. I'm coming up with, no one does this. Listen to this. Construction Perm USDA manufactured home.
Wow. You threw in the manufactured home there. And
well, that's because USDA, even though you'd think they're the best for rural housing, they're manufactured homes. You think manufactured home and USDA would be symbiotic with each other.
But it's not.
But they're not.
Because you got to tie the trailer down to the lot and get the septic and power.
USDA on a brand new unit.
On a brand new one, yeah.
Brand new unit. You cannot go USDA on any used unit. Once it's been used, you can't get it again.
Yep. So I just think you do have the products. It cracks me up when I hear other people say, oh, we've got wonderful products. I just laugh. Like, you need to call Bruce or go work for him. But I just think the main thing when you are on the market, you've got to be watching your competition. And some people just say, well, I want X. What is everybody? And they don't look at what everybody else is asking and who sold in the past 3 weeks, because that's your market. And it doesn't matter what you thought your house was worth or an appraisal you had last June, or a year ago, 13 months ago. That doesn't matter. And you got to watch the market right now, what's happening. And then also taking into account, do you need to sell right now? Is now the best time for you? If you're buying again, most likely 6 of one, half dozen other. You might not get the price you want on the selling side,
True.
but on the buying side, you're going to get lots of things done. We're getting closing costs paid. We're getting concessions done. We're getting buy down, so you don't have that six. Where are we on a rates?
Let's talk about. You're still running right in the mid to high sixes.
Okay,
for good credit.
Yep.
I mean, I did lock some 15-year loans in under that, but that's generally your average Fannie Mae is running around 6.85%. That's Fannie Mae average across the country. So if you're getting better than that, be cautious because not everything is what you think it is, and compare costs. I had a client the other day said, "Oh, I got quoted 6.625 on a jumbo." And I said, "Well, how many points is that?" And they said, "Well, I didn't ask." Well, I said, "Don't you think that's important?"
Yeah.
And they went,
especially on
"Well,
a jumbo,
yeah."
that's an $800,000 mortgage, right?
Yep.
So that's 8,000. A point is $8,000.
So it's a lot more.
Well, and I had a client I was talking to about an online lender that I switched over to you, and they said their rate. And I go, "That's a really good rate. How many points?" He goes, "0." And they told me, I go, "What are your closing costs?" He said $30,000. I go, "There's points on that.
There's something in
There's
there.
something in there." Yeah. So I said, "You need that good faith estimate." "Oh, they said they weren't ready to give me that." I'm like,
What do you
"Okay."
mean they're not ready
Yeah,
to give it to
exactly.
me?
Exactly. So
Listen, nobody should ever hide anything from you folks. Just be honest. You can always count on transparency if you come to me. I can be reached at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. So we just had a client recently that we closed on that was really struggling to come up with their down payment, right? We're really struggling to come up with their down payment and closing costs. But we ended up negotiating 6% toward closing costs for this particular client. Now, the listing agent, when we did that, what did the listing agent say?
"Oh, no, you can't do that."
There's no way that's
And
going to
they
happen.
agreed to it. Yeah.
No way that's going to happen.
Yep.
But Cleve gets in there and we negotiate the deal out. Client and the property ended up appraising even for more than they paid for it.
Yeah.
So this was a win all the way around. But we were able to get all his closing costs paid and do a rate buy down. I can't remember, did we do a 2 or a 1-1 buy down?
But they got what they wanted. They got the payment they wanted, and they got in for about $15,000
out of pocket
on a $300,000 home.
Yep.
And so, and they're out there. And I remember, during COVID and the extreme seller's market, those homes weren't there.
Yeah.
Or they had 20 offers on them.
Yeah.
And so, but there's more people coming on the market now. Now, the good news is I think inventory stabilized. I made a mistake in January. I called the bottom. It's not the bottom. I don't know exactly when that bottom will be. Sales numbers have not picked up yet. I'm hoping Jay Powell gets fired for cause for that $2.5 billion renovation. We get somebody in there that knows what they're doing. Well,
chances are he's not going to keep his job long, or he's going to listen to Trump. And I think here's the deal. Let's just cut to the chase. He's going to drop the rates in September. Okay.
Yeah, he's not doing anything now.
It's going to be a 0.5 point in September. And then the next Fed meeting, I think after that is November. You're probably going to get another 0.5 in November, and that'll give you a full point reduction. Now, we have to be concerned about what the bond market does, because interest rates could go up. If the market rallies, interest rates could go up. Now, I think eventually they'll come down. I think that you'll probably see a little lower rates toward the end of the year. So that would lead people to say, well, then why should I buy now? So when we come back from the next break, let's talk about the pros and cons. Should I buy now, or should I hold off on doing something? We'll talk about that. Cleve Loveland, the voice of real estate in Orlando. Chances are one of the rooftops in your neighborhood has been bought, sold, or managed by Cleve Loveland of Loveland Properties. He can be reached right now at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com. You want to get a great mortgage quote? You want to get your mortgage done so it closes on time and you got great terms? You call the loan arranger. That's who you call. Me, Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage, 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report, the Loan Arranger Show.